Yeah, of course I do feel like that there is a difference. For the most part, I think it's just more about like clarity, that I feel. Um, I still got up, I still went to work, I still had my things, that I needed to do. But there was a lot of like guilt and shame that came with a lot of the things that I did, which held me back from like actually being, productive, without feeling so guilty or, you know, like I wasn't enough, in my career. Um, and yeah, just going through MAP allowed me to recognize the patterns and behaviors, maybe specific traumas that actually led me to believe the things that I believed about myself. So that was a really big eye opener of, even though I thought that, it was maybe related to one trauma, but actually there was something that was much deeper that I needed to heal, to overcome the next thing that would come up for me. I think it's still a work in progress for me, and it's just because my lack of choosing. Um, I think it's just more of my hanging on to the same story, right? Like, I don't know what I gained from it, but I do believe that it's made me more self-aware of that. So it helps me process, that information a bit better. Yes, I am. It just, and as it comes up, like we talk about it and I can work through those feelings and also just like the thought pattern, like understanding where it's coming from and why and how to resolve that within myself. So what would I tell myself, that got me to start MAP, that would make me feel good about starting MAP? So the way that it started was I had discussed, with a friend who actually went through MAP. So that kind of helped me understand, what it was about. And I've been through therapy. I've talked to people, I've journaled, I've done basically all the things that I could possibly do, um, other than, traveling to Thailand and be there for 2 weeks and potentially be temporarily fixed, come home to the same reality. I didn't want that. I really just genuinely wanted to try something that was gonna actually give me progress. And hearing that from a friend, was that it helped her really helped me to just take that leap of faith. And, if it didn't work, it is what it is. It's just another thing that I invested in. And that's kind of how I took it. Um, but I think this is the most accurate, um, way of overcoming, trauma and overcoming, repeated thoughts and patterns that constantly come up. So yeah, that kind of was my interpretation. What I would tell myself in the beginning was just, you know, you've tried it all. Why not try this? And yes, it for me it was costly, but I was able to just kind of get my finances together and trust the process and just believe that this is potentially what I've been waiting for. The physical and visceral things that I've felt, after completing MAP, yeah, just like a deep breath, like being proud of myself for just going through MAP. And obviously like makes you emotional because yeah, you don't think that it's going to change things. And as the weeks progressed, like, sometimes I would fall back and then sometimes I would feel good, but then, you know, I think the biggest thing is just it's helped me just take a deep breath, breathe through anything that comes up. And if something comes up, I'm more able to understand, oh, like my heart's racing a bit more, or I'm about to cry, and just allowing myself to have that space to cry and just release it and temporarily have it come through and then kind of go away. Instead of before, I'd kind of like linger and sit in that, and it would be my entire day is ruined because now I'm upset or whatever the case may be. Um, so I think that was like the biggest thing is just the feeling of tension, the heart racing, like the tearfulness, like all of those things. I think I just never noticed it before, but now I'm like more aware of it. So that's helped me kind of process um, the physical aspect of it. Um, I started October of last year, or yeah, 2024. So I did 12 weeks of that. And then now I'm just doing like every 2 weeks, I do a map session.